Hello, Ms. Buchanan's Algebra 1A. These are the notes that were for April 5th. And in case you need a little bit of guidance on these, I'm going to do the odd ones for you. And let's get started. So the directions are to write each equation in slope-intercept form and identify the slope and y-intercept. So in order to get in slope-intercept form, that means I want to get y all by itself on one side of the equation. So I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. Ends up looking like this, and I'm done. Y is all by itself on one side of the equation. And over here I have minus 2x plus 3. So we have slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where m equals the slope and b equals the y-intercept. Okay, the slope is the slope of the line. You have some examples here, how it's going up and over, rise over run, or if it's going down and over, so it's like a negative rise over run. And then the y-intercept is where it crosses the y. So this is a y-intercept of -2 because it's at -2 on the y-axis. This one is at -1. This one is at 7. Okay, so that's what those letters mean. That's what slope and y-intercept means. So here you find my slope, m, is -2, and the letter b represents the y-intercept, and so that's going to be a positive 3. Okay, here I'm going to subtract x from both sides. So when I subtract x from both sides, I end up with -3y equals -x plus 3. I'm going to divide, plus 12, I'm sorry, divide both sides by -3. That gets my y by itself. And notice I have a -1 divided by a -3. 12 divided by -3 is -4 over here. -1 over a -3 is just 1 over 3. And everything else stays the same. So my slope is 1/3, and my y-intercept is -4. Here I'm going to subtract 4x from both sides, and I end up with -y equals -4x. I divide both sides by -1 in order to get y by itself, or you could think of it this way. You know, you do to one side of the equation as you do to the other. So if I change the sign on this side, I have to change the sign on this side. So I get y equals 4x. The slope here is 4. There's nothing back here. There's no b number back here. So it's just going to be 0. Number 7. And what that means, a slope, or a y-intercept of 0, is this one would be going like right through the center. It would be going right through the center, where y equals 0, if you were to graph that. Okay, this one I'm going to add 6x to both sides because it's a -6x. Then I'm going to divide everything by 4. And I end up reducing 6 over 4 to 3 over 2. So my slope is 3 over 2, and my y-intercept is 5. Number 9, I'm subtracting. Remember, I want to get y by itself on all of these, so I subtract 3x from both sides. And now I'm left with 3y. Now I divide everything by 3. So dividing by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3. These cancel out. I get y by itself equals -3 divided by 3 is just -1x. And then -12 divided by 3 is -4. So my m is this -x. I have -1x. And I have b is -4. My y-intercept is -4. For this one, I'm going to subtract 12x from both sides. And then I am going to divide everything by a 9, by -9. This becomes 12 over 9 because it's negative 12 over negative 9, so it just becomes positive. Two negatives make a positive. And so I end up getting 4/3 x plus 1. Because that negative 9 divided by negative 9 just gives me a positive 1. So my slope is 4/3 and my y-intercept is 1. Okay, for 13, 14, 15, what you have to do is you have to change all of these into slope-intercept form so you can see if it fits that graph. Notice the problems here. I'm not going to walk through each one of these with you, but if you take a look in particular to B, I subtract an x from both sides, and then I divide by negative 3. Negative 1 over a negative 3 just becomes 1 over 3. And a 6 divided by negative 3 gives me negative 2. Negative 2 is the y-intercept I want because it intercepts y-axis right here at negative 2. And notice the slope, 1 over 3, it goes up 1 over 3 to the next point, up 1 over 3 to the next intersection. So that's the one I want. That's why B makes sense. Okay, and you can see my work for the other ones. Okay, for number 15, take a look in particular at letter C. I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides, and I'm going to divide by 4 everything. Notice I get negative 5 over 4, that's my slope, and a y-intercept of 7. Notice y-intercept of 7, this goes up to 7, that's the y-intercept. And negative 5 over 4. So it goes down 5 over 4. Down 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 before it hits another intersection. That is what I want. That is the equation for that line. This is standard form. I had to change it to slope-intercept form in order to figure out whether or not that was the equation for that line. So that's number 15. Try 14 on your own, and good luck with the rest of these.